Right, so I'm basically doing a couple of videos again, and the first one I'll do first because I almost forgotten what it was about because I had it in my head and then 5 minutes later it just went blank, and I'm like, oh no 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 no. Well, first of all, as people may well know, I love football. So the purpose of this video is to talk a little bit about the subject of the word football. Now, the reason, oh, bloody, I should have brushed my hair before I did this. Um, Never mind. It's not like I'm going out anywhere, but basically, my hair was brushed this morning, but it's obviously got messy since then. Anyway, enough about that because it's all about football. And basically, it made me think of something because when you watch TV programs or maybe a film and they do football, it always made me wonder, and I'm sure this is probably the case. I don't know whether it's on all of them, but I assume that a lot of times you'll get 99% of the time you watch a TV program or um, possibly a film where the subject is about football. So let's say it could be a drama or it could be a big film and the majority of it is all about football. Why is it they always do one thing at the end, and that is always let one team win, the team that is the team that they're basically the main team that they are trying to have in the story, win. But by the last minute, it usually happens. They always want something dramatic to happen in a film. And usually that's what happens. I know you're probably thinking, yeah, they have to have something dramatic, but it's always the same thing a lot of the times. Because what it is, you'll get a film, let's say a film, and they'll say, this film's about a football team, right? It could be a young football team, so there could be teenagers, it could be 14, 15, 16-year-olds or whatever, or it could be simply about whatever. And they always do this thing where it's the film, and you know they've got to get to the cup final and win it, or they've got to win the league or something like that. And they say, what could be more dramatic at the end, but them saying, we know what we'll do to make it dramatic at the end. They've got to win this match to win the league. They're playing against maybe one of the big teams. You played, what, 90 minutes of the football match. Got an idea, there's, what, 3 minutes left on the clock, or 4 minutes injury time. What do? The team scores a goal. So, let's use two real teams in this one. Two real teams. Think of two great football teams who I don't support. Because I don't want to use Forest as my example, because it'll be like, yeah, I thought so. So let's imagine that, well, that would be two great teams, but let's say, for instance, West Ham. Let's say West Ham have to play someone like Manchester United. So they're both in the they're both in the last match of the season. Chelsea are second in the league. No. Let's say Chelsea are top of the league, right? I don't know why I'm using these examples, but still. Chelsea are top of the league. Manchester United are second. If Chelsea draw or lose, they basically do not win the league. Providing Manchester United... No. Let's get it straight, right? An example would be basically Chelsea are top with, say, 89 points. They're top of the league with 89 points, as an example. Manchester United are second with 88 points. So basically, if Chelsea win, they win the league. If Chelsea lose or draw, and Manchester United win, they win the league. And if Manchester United draw, they'll be on the same points as Chelsea, providing Chelsea do basically lose. All the ins and outs of what you think about in football. The film could be based simply about something like that, and Chelsea could be playing Arsenal, where they basically draw. So Chelsea draw with Arsenal in 1-1, so we know that. So basically Chelsea then have 90 points. Manchester United won 88. It was the last game of the season for Manchester United. It's the remaining game. Chelsea are on edge because they have to make sure that West Ham play Manchester United. It's very likely what will happen is they'll do this film like that, and basically they'll say, we're going to do it when Manchester United get the goal in the last 4 minutes. To make it more dramatic so they win the league. Somebody becomes a hero. The film is a whole... And I don't get why they do that, because I understand that films do have to be dramatic sometimes at the end. But in every film that's based around football, or as the Americans would call it, soccer, and they do this on the American films that they have where there's soccer matches, I absolutely think to myself, why do they always have to be so dramatic that the winning team always score in the last minute? And then you see the ref blow the whistle. It's like, that doesn't happen in real football. They do realise that. And it is true. Football matches are not dramatic like that all the time. Some football matches are just simply plain and simply won by the team who are better on that day. And it's true. If every film wanted to make, if every filmmaker wanted to make a film about football, and they thought it was going to be about cup finals and basically, and that all the cup finals that they do in the films, there could be 10 films. All 10 films are based around football. They've all been released in the last, say, 10, 20 odd years, but they've all got the same thing going on. All them cup finals are going to basically be dramatic, where some player scores in the last minute for their team to win the cup final, which would never happen in real life because it doesn't. Sometimes some cup finals go on to the dramatic extra time or penalties, or sometimes you'll get football matches where they're just simply it's a bit boring. Basically, it's a boring cup final. The team can win 1-0 for all we care, but some matches don't have to be that dramatic, and you might get a cup, and that's it. There could be two scenarios of boring or great football matches, but not with goals being scored in last minutes or anything like that. So you can have a boring cup final where it's something like Chelsea versus Arsenal, which will be this season's FA Cup final, and all it is simply Chelsea win 1-0. Chelsea have scored in something like the 32nd minute of the first half. That's when they score, and they score that, and that's it. No more goals. Nothing. Simple 1-0 win for Chelsea. That's it. Second half is no goals, there's nothing. That's it. Chelsea win the league, or should I say cup final, win 1-0. Sometimes you might get football matches where there are a little bit more goals. It might be something like, you have a typical cup final where it might be Manchester United versus Liverpool, and it might be 3-2 to Manchester United. Not saying it's dramatic, but it'd be won by the better team, but Liverpool might have played well, and you might get the first half. The first half might be Manchester United take a 2-0 lead at half time. That could be it. And it might be that they've scored in, say, the 11th minute and the 40th minute. 2 goals, Manchester United. Fair enough. Second half comes along and Liverpool might peg back, say, 1 goal in somewhere like the 54th minute. 10 minutes later on the 64th minute, Manchester United might get a goal to make it 3-1. To sort of see it off the victory, Liverpool could come along and score in something like 79 minutes and it would be like 3-2. Almost dramatic in some ways, because you're thinking Liverpool have got a late minute goal. They might be in that, if they get another goal it'll be a draw, they could take it to a draw, but then you might get to that and go, you know what I mean? It's not really that dramatic in a sense that it's going to be one of them, they score in the last minute to make it a win or a draw and you have to go extra time or something like that. So I don't get why films always really have to be the same, built around the same sort of scenario at the end of every film, and even TV programs, when they could just make them reality and do something else for a dramatic ending, and not based just on something like the team having to win, and then when they win, whatever. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'll leave it there because I've got another video to put up about weddings and parties and things like that. So that will be coming up very soon. It might even get uploaded before this one. Who knows? Anyway, keep watching. Bye for now.